I think that there will be a productive result in terms of the negotiations of the debt. But remember, it's $1 billion debt, and the recurrent expenditure is 7777. That's a magic number. We need to, first of all, rationalize the size of government, meaning we need to find a way to make it, to move these people into the productive sector, into private sector, and make the private sector grow. I believe we have the solutions. We're only 300,000 people. And the only way you can do that is grow exports, bring in direct foreign investment, and increase government revenue. So I'm saying that he has identified the problems, but we need to work. We just can't talk about it. And I also believe that the media has a responsibility to make this the front page every day until we get it solved. And I welcome anything I can do to assist in highlighting where we need to go on particular issues. For example, if the media would bring projects that can go and it's just been stopped, they can highlight it, and hopefully if we find out if the investor is saying the truth or if the government department is saying the truth or if there's a middle way. But the fact is, if we can move that project along, we've succeeded. Every project, if we do that, we are on our way to success. So I understand the widening gap and I understand the urgency to find that money. I do believe the negotiations of the bond will be successful. It might not be perfect, but I also understand that this is a disciplined budget. So there are sacrifices to be made, and they're coming. So we can't avoid them.
Among those sacrifices, do you see the government shedding workers? Do you see a retrenchment in the future? And if the government goes the way of retrenchment, can the private sector absorb those people who will be losing their jobs from the public sector?
Well, I'm not in the position to talk for government because they are the ones who decide where they will go and how they will handle their internal affairs. What I would suggest is if we take the recommendations that we had on the show this morning and the recommendations that we're making right now about growing exports, we can avoid some of that impact. And if we continue making preparations, but it has to be done with dialogue, it has to be done in cooperation with all parties, not excluding and deciding that, well, we don't like these guys, so we won't listen to them. I suggest that we have a solution. Whether we want to do it or not, no, that's the question that I can't answer. But yes, there are hard choices to make. So we don't have time to sit down and contemplate. We need to move ahead with this rapidly, because those issues are facing us. How we handle it, it really depends on leadership. From the private sector point of view, we're prepared to work. We work with all parties, both government and the opposition and any other person, in order to resolve these issues.